as short as possible. So today I'm glad to monitor the roundtable about transportation and travel. My name is Laurent Dunys, the founder at The Bot Studio, where we develop bots for transportation and travel. And I'm happy to be here on stage with Tristan Charié from PSA, the car manufacturer, and with Charles Cadbury from Dazzle, founder at Dazzle, and Benoit Bouffart from OUI.SNCF. So, Tristan, you are a voice UX developer at PSA. So we know PSA, right? Peugeot, Citroën, car manufacturer. But what do you do exactly at PSA? And how long have you been working on voice user experience?
Thank you. So hi, my name is Tristan Charié. I work in PSA Group since more than 2 years now, and I am a front-end developer, web developer, and also designer. And I work in a service. The name of this service is UX City. So our purpose is to make the best user experience in the cockpit and outside the cockpit. And I work in this service. There is around 200 persons who work on this subject, and I am in a laboratory. Okay, there is 20–30% in this laboratory, and we are testing some use case, some solution to try the best user experience in our cockpit. And I worked since 6 months only on the vocal assistant.
Charles, co-founder at Dazzle. So what is Dazzle?
Okay, so Charles Cadbury. So why does Dazzle exist? So we've produced Dazzle to help customers communicate and create a relationship with train operators, and to help train operators communicate and to develop a relationship with their customers. So we've done this by creating a multimodal platform which allows us to communicate with, to bring in all of the data that a train operator might have, and then allow customers to get to that information using chatbots and voice. And so we built this out currently for Alexa, very, very soon with Google Assistant. It also supports Facebook Messenger and SMS.
You're from the UK.
From the UK.
From London.
Yeah, from London. But to give a bit of context, so we've been developing voice assistants since about 2016. So Dazzle's come from Lola Tech, which is an enterprise travel software business. And so we started, our first proof of concept was for an airline to book an airline ticket using an Alexa skill. And then in October 2016, we spun out the Dazzle platform. So we are relatively experienced in this.
Good. And Benoit, so you are Chief Product Officer at OUI.SNCF. So OUI.SNCF is the new name for Voyage.SNCF. It's a French travel agency. Yep. And so, yeah, how long have you been working? What do you do exactly there? And how long have you been working on voice user experience?
So I'm the Chief Product Officer of OUI.SNCF, which is the French leader in e-commerce in France. We've done 4.2 billion euros of sales in 2016, and we've got 14 million unique visitor months. My job is I'm in charge of customer experience, innovation, and product management. So I've got a dedicated feature team on each side of the website and the app, and from 1 year now on conversational issues.
Okay, thank you. So, Charles, so you said you were working for the rail industry, and you've built a chatbot and voice bot platform dedicated to transportation. So why did you choose to work for the rail industry? What's the value proposition?
So the value proposition is very much to break down the barriers. I don't know what your relationship is with your rail operator, but it may not be a loved relationship. So there's some trust to be gained. So the It's the kind of use case, you're at home, you can search and book for a ticket using the smart speaker that you're probably going to have in your home, or if not this year, you will very, very soon. And then when you're on your way to go and pick up that that train, if something happens, then you can have a conversation experience. So you can text back and forward, or if you've got Google Assistant, you can go and speak and say, look, when's the next train? Is my ticket going to be still valid? And then when you're on the train, you've got this curated almost like a concierge telling you, what you can, what services you can avail of on the train. And that's a trusted back and forth. And so that's the quick win. That's the now. And then the vision, very much, our experiences in low-cost airlines. So we understand that, train operations is a low-margin business. And so over time, if you'll be able to build this personalized channel back and forward, you are this safe hand, this trusted communication back and forward with your train operator, then there's lots and lots of opportunities to help you get from your home to the station and then that last mile to your destination. And then there's lots of incremental revenue opportunities and facilitation opportunities for you as a customer to get a lot more from the service you're getting.
Working to enhance the user experience. So how do you work with the rail companies, your customers? What's the business model with them?
Yeah, so it's very, very much on a white label. So this would be, the voice of the rail operator. But there's a whole load of deep integration which has to happen with their systems in the back end in order to have the corpus of information to deliver back. And the advantage is that we're looking to the future. So when we're able to develop for WhatsApp, then that'll come on as a channel. When we're able to develop for Siri, that'll come on as a channel. So as these channels arrive and our understanding of the space gets more and more developed, then all of our clients kind of can jump onto that benefit.
All right, congratulations. Then Benoit, so at OUI.SNCF, we've seen a lot of media coverage about you developing chatbots and voice bots. You were everywhere the last 2 years, so congratulations as well. And so how did you embrace these new cloud platforms? Can you give us examples of what you've done precisely?
Yes, peut-être before talking about how we do this, we should ask about why we do this. 3 years ago, we launched an innovation program which was called Smart Tourism. And we try to address 3 issues. The first one is about quickness. Our customer, they want to buy tickets very quick. So we need to address this. The second step was to address personalization, which means what? Which means that so far, when they come to our website or app, they need to adapt and change their behavior because of us. And in some months, what we want to do is that we adapt our interface for them and not them because of us. So saying, for example, we've got 40 million users a month, and perhaps tomorrow we can have 40 million version of our website or app for them. So it's the second goal. And the last thing is that we think about ubiquity, because people don't always think about us to buy a ticket or to buy a plane or to buy an hostel. And so we would like to say to them, don't move, stay where you are. We're gonna come to you. And in this kind of proposal, we decided to go to Facebook Messenger a few years ago, let's say, not few years, 18 months ago. We decided to develop on Echo at the same time. We launched at the end of 2014 an hashtag on Twitter. We implement voice command within our app in 2015. And just to say it, the leader in this kind of feature used to be Microsoft, because we implement within Microsoft Phone. I don't know how many people still have a Microsoft Phone here. Perhaps no, not a lot, but they used to be leader on this question. So we've got a program in 2014 we test. Then we make some poke in 2015. We launched on a huge basis in 2016 with Messenger. We were the first French player to launch order confirmation on Messenger, and then we launched the bot in September 2016. And in 2017, we launched Home, sorry. And at the end of 2015, we decided that all that we have learned, we should implement within our own interface. So we decided to launch an on-site bot that you can check if you go on OUI.SNCF. And this bot is using the same technology, the NLP technology that we have developed on our own, using open source technology like OpenNLP or Stanford NLP, or we use some duckling for data parsing, for example. And so we've got an incremental strategy that were really linked to customer behavior and expectation. That's very important.
Well, you've been busy.
Yeah, and what
how
I said before, we decided at the end of 2016, and we created it to launch a dedicated future team. So it's 12 people with a product owner, UX, UI, Scrum, and so on, lead dev, data scientist also, in order to improve our NLP assets.
Yeah. And how have your customers embraced or reacted to your bots so far?
Yeah, in fact, it's very small so far. I listen a lot to the previous conferences. I'm not saying everybody was saying it's early. It's very early, in fact, because when you talk about voice devices, it's not a lot. It's about 40 million devices sales in 2017. What I think is that, for example, you've got more power with Google the Assistant, because it's within the phone, and you've got 3.3 billion phones all over the world. So for me, equipment or property create usage, and you should look at voice. Of course, you should look at it, but you should look at voice taking into consideration that perhaps it's going to be voice by smartphone and not on dedicated device, or not only on dedicated device. And just to answer the question, because I'm quite long, the satisfaction ranking is very good. When we have begun really on this in September 2016, let's know that we've got 25 users a day, and today we've got 10,000 users a day, which is still quite small because it's less than 1% of our total user a day. But anyway, it's 40 times more than before. And we've got we are lucky because you can put option on your ticket, so it's like a transaction. And we've got some dedicated abonnement for the young, and so you can pay at €0, so you don't need transaction assets, so you can finalize within this kind of interface.
It's pretty smart. Okay, Tristan. So PSA has been working with voice user experience for a long time. And you said now you have a full team of experts dedicated to that. So why is PSA so interested in voice user experience? What specific problem do you need to solve?
The problem is that now there is a lot of information in car, outside. And at the beginning, there is only a simple audio system in your car with less than 10 features. But now there is a complex infotainment system. So there is a lot of feature to have in your car, to organize it for the user, and to make the first thing that the priority is the security of the driver and the passenger. So we have to treat all of this information. And there is a step that we organize all this information in the screen. But now there is a lot of information, more information than a few years ago. So now the vocal assistant is a real solution to have this information and to help the driver to have all this information. That's why.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think there's 1.3 million death fatalities in cars while driving around the world every year. So I think this is a big problem that you can solve with voice user experience in the car. So that's really important. And so today you're proposing voice user experience. What basic use cases, features, are you proposing to your customers in your car today?
Today it's very simple. The use case are communication, like vocal communication, and also message communication, and there is also navigation and the media to play music or to change the volume. So this is the basic use case that there is actually currently in our car.
Okay, thank you. Charles, so you said that your bot platform was compatible with chatbots and voice. Does it mean your users can interact with multiple channels through your solution? How do these omni-channel conversations resolve?
So the minute you've got an idea, you're able to link people either before they create an account. You can find ways to link people through intelligent questioning, or you've got them to create an account. The minute they've created an account, then you need to work out where they might get the most benefit from each interface. A good example is when you're looking for a ticket. So you want to say, I want to go to Lille tomorrow. And there's 5 different options. So I want to go to Lille tomorrow morning, and 5 different options. I'm not going to remember those 5 different options or be able to complete that transaction. At that point, it's really useful from a voice perspective to propose the question, would you like me to send you this option to your device? And that's then sent through your preferred channel, so that's Facebook Messenger or SMS. And that can then either put a card up in Facebook Messenger to help you complete that transaction, or link you, kind of deep link you to that specific search. So for us, it's going where the customers are and making sure that you're using the right channel to complete the right part of the journey.
Yeah, that's a very important challenge for a voice, for all of us working on voice today. So if you're able to help us solve that, that's a very good opportunity. And so you've been focusing on rail industry so far. So what's next? Where are you going to expand after rail?
So interestingly, we started in September 2016, and it wasn't rail to begin with. So we started off with a proposition with a concierge for hotels. So this was we developed this with Marriott Hotels, and this was putting Alexa devices in hotel rooms with a Facebook Messenger companion, so that you could speak your requests. You know, can I have a new towel in your room? Then when you're outside the room, you can still communicate with the concierge of the hotel, and that's where we developed the kind of multimodal aspect of the platform. But then the economics, the economic model didn't work as well as the big problem in the rail industry. So over the next couple of years, we're very, very focused in just solving the problems that we can see in the rail industry, and there's big problems in the UK, and some of them are replicated in Europe. And once we've focused and we've proven out there, then obviously we've got a heritage in airlines, and that's another logical place to go.
Okay, thank you. Benoit, so do you see voice as an opportunity to create new services for your customers? And if yes, can you give us some examples?
I think it's going to change first the way they used to buy a travel first, because it's very efficient for search, for sure. And for search today in website or app, you need to fulfill a lot of information. Where are you coming from? Where do you want to go? When? And so on. So first, it's going to change this, of course. But you can also change the way they think about travel. For example, you can ask where the weather is good today, and please tell me how to go there. And then you break the way you ask actually the customer to look for travel. And you can ask also what is the cheapest destination less than 2 hours from Paris, and then you've got your answer. So it's very easy to find or to give some inspiration and to give a new way for customer that don't know where to go and to look at us and to find a travel. So it's not new feature. We need to develop a new experience more than new features with this, I think. And after that, perhaps we're going to think about new features. The new features that are coming, it's very important that you should think about the easiest way for your customer to interact with you. And so obviously you're going to think about account linking with this kind of interface. And then after that, the previous speaker talks about you need to think about transaction, of course, and how you can proceed it.
Yeah, so that's what you're aiming for right now. What's next? What are you working on for 2018?
Yeah, we are definitely looking for account linking because when you book a travel, you need to fulfill a lot of information, and so if you're providing account linking, you can make it easier for your customer, and then after that, you can also use some data in order to provide some specific destination, specific billing, and so on. So it's gonna be easier, and you can inspire your customer, and so it's very important, even if you've got some question about the data and how you're gonna do it. I think we also need to improve our button sites. I don't know if you have used it, but you can book a ticket for only a one-way ticket and for some specific carrier, a rail carrier. So we're gonna expand it. And I think what is really important, we are talking about so many years about that, is about cross-channel. Because you should begin on Google Home or Echo and then follow up on your website and your app and then finish whenever you want. So I think we're going to make huge step on this and provide a cross-channel delightful experience for our customer. It's very important.
Tristan? So are you working on integrating the cloud platforms such as Siri, Alexa, Google into your vehicle?
Yes, and it's already done because now in the PSA group there is you can use Android Auto and also Apple CarPlay. And in the last concept car, we implement Alexa. So yes.
How do you deal with connection issues? Because that's a big issue.
About Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. If there is no connection, this is the big problem. Yes, but you know, because now there is we use the connection of the smartphone, okay, in car, but we are developing solution to put connection in the car, not in the smartphone.
Sounds very complicated to me because as a driver, I may be a customer of Alexa or Google. It's my choice. But for you, it means that you have to be able to integrate with all of them to satisfy your customers. So it seems really complicated to me. As a user experience professional, how do you work on this challenge to integrate these cloud platforms in your vehicle?
Vocal assistant increase, so we have to find a link between all of these assistants. And PSA group worked before with Smartly, and that's why we have also to take care about habits of our user, okay, and to organize all these habits and to combine it with our car. And the other challenge is that the use case in the car is different than the use case at home.
Yeah.
For example, if you say to Alexa to launch a movie at home, it will work. But if you ask to Alexa to launch a movie when you are driving, it will not work.
Yeah.
So
what interesting use cases do you see for your customers when they're driving, when they will use Alexa or Google Home? What are the favorite use cases or features they will use, in your opinion?
Car is a continuity between your smartphone and your connected house. So you can imagine that when you left your home, every light will be off and temperature will decrease. And when you will come back at home, temperature will increase and everything will be prepared for your coming.
Okay, well, it sounds like really exciting. If you are a driver, I'm sure you'll be excited to be able to benefit from these features. So, well, we're at the end of the panel. So, as a conclusion, can all of you three tell us, do you feel like the revolution of a voice user experience will be as important, as big as it was for the mobile those last 10 years?
For me, yes, because all the mobile companies have their own vocal assistant. So it's a proof of this evolution.
Charles?
I think it'll be bigger and faster because we all know how to speak, and there'll be a lot of people who believe that they can build in this way. But there are some massive challenges to overcome. So one of the biggest challenges that we've encountered is that somebody speaks and goes, right, this is a great conversational model we can understand. Now can we purpose this for every different language? Now we've heard a lot today about the nuance and the persona generation and personality that you have to build into this. And we know we've hired in script writers and poets to make sure we have delightful and bouncy conversations. And that takes a huge amount of work to create a great conversation in one language. Now, to try and translate that to another language, you need to almost redo the whole amount of work again. It's the translation problem is vast and coming. So I think that's the one thing that may slow us down.
Benoit?
I would say yes on 2 points and perhaps no on, well, let's say the first. Yes, it's a huge revolution on technical issues because a lot of things are changing in technical. You need to perhaps to manage or to learn new development language. You need to think about Kotlin. You need to think about this stuff. It's very different. So we need to develop new developers' competencies. So first, yes. Second, yes, on UX, previous speakers speak about, but 18 months ago, we launched Echo, as we used to provide information on our website. So we provide 8 types of results after the voice search. And then we say option 1, you can go from Paris to Marseille at the end of the option 8. I think the guys were in his bed because it was too long. So we need to break down everything. We need to provide only 2 options and then do a deep dive. So it changed everything on UX. But when we look at the customer feedback on messaging or on voice command, and the player have learned it because they provide smart display. They ask us to, because voice is very free, you can say everything with voice, and at the end, the customer, it asks you some CTA. Okay, please help me to click on this and to go to the next side. So the user is not really ready for open search, and we need to help him to go through the funnel until the end of the funnel. So at this time, we know that there is some hybrid behavior, and we need still to provide some visual information in order to ensure that is secure.
Okay, well, thank you very much, all of three. Do you have questions here for us? There.
Hello, thank you for that. Which voice applications or voice interactions do you really enjoy using, and which ones do you see a hole that there isn't there, that you wish there was to set an app?
Wow, challenging question. So as a user, yeah. So which ones do you like to use, and which one do you miss you would like to use?
I'm quite glad it's this way, because I know that they've put more thinking into this than anybody else. But it's the inbuilt features on Alexa which I use the most and get the most value from. So this morning I'm away from home. I dropped in, which is a feature you can just land your voice in the bedroom at home, and spoke to my wife and children. That was that's great. And then all the the smart home control. Being able to, at Christmas, turn the Christmas lights off without going under the tree and getting needles in my hair. This is things that are affecting my my real life, and allowing me to have kind of extra control on my environment. And I think that's going to happen more and more if I can control my car or summon my autonomous vehicle.
In my case, I don't use a vocal assistant. Yes. Because for me, there is no all feature that I need. So it creates more frustration because I don't have what I want. So, but I'm waiting Alexa, because I think company will develop skills, and at this moment it will be very interesting.
On my side, I use it for personal information management, like my meeting, calendar, and some basic stuff. And I think it's very useful when you would like to launch search on something, whatever it is. And it's less useful when you wait for the answer, because sometimes it's very long. But
on my side, I was pretty amazed with Google Home when I was wanting to go to a shop near my apartment. I didn't know if it was open or closed. So I asked Google, okay, is this shop open? And he knew where I was located, so he knew I was looking for the shop nearby, and he told me, yes, it's open now. And I was amazed by that. It was really, really contextual and personal. So that was very good. And then I like to ask for the weather and for the news. So that's mainly what I'm using it for.
Any other questions? No, we good?
They want a break, no?
We're going to have it in just a quick seconds.
Question for Charles. Did you see any traction for transaction within a bot? So people buying tickets or buying things using the chatbots?
100%. So that's a platform question. So the platform is set up to deliver against digital ticketing. One of the big why nows for us in the UK is our department, the Minister for Transportation has mandated that no more paper tickets, only digital ticketing by 2019. And so we're very much set up to provide this through the conversational interface, because when you tell everybody that they can't buy paper tickets anymore, they need to buy digital tickets, there's a whole load of questions. And so to reduce the volume of questions on the call centers, if you can provide this all with a pre-built conversational or automated conversational model, then you solve all those questions and you start to build people in, and you can start to then get people's accounts and then deliver an increasingly personalized experience to everyone you're working with.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I think it's going to be huge, but it's not transaction when, for example, you've got unlimited usage, because you've got VOD or other stuff on travel, for example. If you've got unlimited travel tickets, so you can book with a voice assistant a lot. So it depends finally of what you're selling.
Thank you all for that. That was really interesting and insightful.